It's 2024 now, and it seems there's still some misconceptions about how much it actually costs to grade a video game. I saw this little post on Reddit the other day where someone was claiming that they saw you have to pay around $2,500 to get a game rated by WATA, and I think that includes encasing it? Like, where does someone see that it's going to cost you $2,500 to grade a video game? So let's talk about what it actually costs to grade a video game in 2024, because I will say, CGC just came out with brand new pricing yesterday as of filming this. Grading a video game right now is as cheap as it has ever been. Here's the really quick overview, and we're going to break this down into more detail in just a second, but just looking at it right now, CGC just announced $28 grading. Now, you do have to get an elite membership in order to get that $28 fee, so it's $35, no memberships, nothing else. That is the cheapest you can grade a game if you don't do anything, right? $35 with CGC, $50 with WATA, and $90 with VGA. $90 with VGA. $90. Have they not seen Carl's video? There aren't any sealed games that still cost $90. So we'll start by talking with VGA here, because you may be thinking at $90, why would anyone bother submitting with them? I'll just open up a page here for Super Mario 64 so you can see. So if we put in $500 Mario 64, you can see the minimum there for premium is $90. Then you can get a UV upgrade for $20, a grading summary for $25, and you can clean it for $10. So with VGA, $90 minimum, I mean, you're very limited as to what you can actually send to them. Obviously, the game should at least cost, I don't know, $200 at absolute minimum. You don't want to send something in that isn't even worth the price of grading. But the issue is, and why people still do use VGA for a lot of stuff, is VGA is still the only company who will grade certain items. Most limited collector's editions or big box PC games, video game consoles, anything that's basically oversized, anything that's in a weird size, VGA is still the only company that will grade that stuff. The minimum cost for grading a PS1 console right now is $145. I think if you were to do something like a Game Boy, it might be $115, but you're looking at $115 minimum, and as the size of the item goes up, the grading fee goes up as well. But again, they're the only company that does it, so if you want a console graded, it's VGA. And one thing I will say about the pricing here is I'm showing you guys the minimum cost to do anything. If you have something worth multiple thousands of dollars, that's where we have to start talking about that 2% value fee, and maybe that's even what that other guy was talking about, that $2,500 to grade something. Once you get over certain value thresholds, that's when they start doing the 2% value. So if you're submitting something worth, say, $4,000 with VGA, it actually might be cheaper to go through VGA, as they're still only quoting $100 at $4,000 valuation. Just something to keep in mind, that if you're submitting something very expensive, just use whatever company you want. Which then brings us to WATA Games, and saying thank you to every single patron who helps support the channel, as well as the YouTube members. I can't do this without you guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's talk about how much it costs to grade with WATA. Loose, CIB, and sealed are all the same price, $50 right now. CIB is where it gets really interesting here with this $50 and $89, but I'll talk about that in just a second. So with WATA, when you submit something, is so long as you are under $1,000, you're not going to pay any of that 2% fee. WATA has a lot of stuff that you can add on to your order though, including light cleaning is $10. They're just going to lightly wipe down your game. If you have no clue what you're doing with cleaning a game or something, yeah, pay for the $10. It'll probably help you out. The other really big thing WATA offers is sticker removal, but it's at $40 frickin' $40 to remove a sticker. I mean, just learn how to do it yourself. I have some tutorials on my channel. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. Learn how to remove stickers. Most of them can be taken off in like 5 minutes. And of course, if you want the game back faster, you're going to pay more money, but we're just talking about the minimums today. When you do this declared value stuff, it's basically your insurance. So whatever you want the insurance on this game to be. Mario 64 is pretty expensive. If I was going to submit a copy, I'd probably put it in at $2,500. So you can see at $2,500 insurance, it's $100. So now VGA and WATA are costing the exact same. The big wrinkle with WATA Games though is if you're going to submit a complete in-box video game, because WATA and CGC both grade loose and complete video games. So used CIB here, and you put it in, doesn't matter value, we'll just go $500. WATA also has this option for CIB Plus. So for $40, they'll actually put the insert names on your label, and they'll also grade game-specific inserts. So on the back of the label, they'll mark posters, registration cards, anything like that. But if you don't pay this extra $40, they will not grade those posters and stuff. They won't even put it on the back of the label. So if you submit, say, Secret of Mana, and it has 2 posters, a registration card inside, and you don't pay this extra $40, you will never know that those are actually inside of the game. And if you haven't caught it from my tone yet, I think this CIB Plus is absolutely ridiculous and needs to be abolished. If we are going to grade complete in-box video games, the bare minimum that should be done is having all of the contents listed on the label. So unless you have something super expensive that you want to send to WATA, or you just, if you really like WATA, you really want that CIB Plus, I mean, go for it. But as you're going to see, complete in-box grading with everything labeled can be done much cheaper now. And that now brings us to CGC, where loose, CIB, and sealed can be done for $28 now. Like I said, $35 if you don't buy any of the memberships, but we're going to talk about that here. So if you're going to submit with CGC, it just depends how much volume you're actually going to submit. If you think you're going to submit like 10 things, you should probably buy this $25 a year membership. You save 10% per game, or $3.50. If you're going to submit any kind of volume at all, say 20 games, 30 games, you actually should get the premium membership, because you also get $150 credit. So with either of these 2 memberships here, you're paying $31.50 per game. And then if you want that $28, it's $299 a year. You also do get the $150 credit. So I think you'd have to submit about 50 games in order for this to be like worth it. But with that said, in the Discord, in my Discord, completely free, join, link in the description, one of the mods is a CGC dealer. So if you submit through a CGC dealer, you get these elite premium benefits without having to pay for it yourself. You just ship your games to a dealer, they ship them to CGC, you get them shipped back to you. Obviously, you have to consider shipping costs. Would it be cheaper to do this, do that? You have to consider this. But if you go through a dealer, you can get the $28 pricing without having to buy the membership yourself. And with CGC's value charges, WATA games, it was $1,000 you start getting charged. With CGC, it's $2,500 until you get charged any kind of premium. So if you're going to send in something worth more than $2,500, you have to use this choice over here, which is $125 base plus 2% of the fair market value. Again, we're just doing the cheapest we can today, $35. We're going to declare the value at $500. Again, we'll just type in Mario. We'll do Mario Party on N64. CGC, $10 to get light cleaning, and sticker removal, extra cleaning is $40 as well, which again, just learn how to do it yourself. It's not that hard. Tutorials exist out there. Save yourself that $40. With CGC, for whatever reason, they have this $5 handling fee. So I mean, if you're submitting one game, it technically will be $40 plus shipping. I don't know why they have this handling fee. It's $5. Make of it what you will. But with all of that said, you can see the pricing right here. Who do I recommend you go with right now? Honestly, you can't really go wrong with any of these 3 companies. With VGA's pricing, I mean, I really can't recommend them unless you absolutely have to use them for something. $90 for a game just hurts my soul. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's ridiculous. With CGC being as cheap as it is, I'm absolutely going to be sending them cheaper games. I made the joke earlier, but seriously, a lot of sealed games aren't worth that much money, especially if you're doing more modern collecting. A lot of this stuff is really cheap right now and maybe not technically worth grading, but at $28 to get your game fully protected, appraised, evaluated, that's just really good value. And then with more special stuff, because I do like the cases better, like I do prefer the look of WATA cases more than CGC. So if it's something a bit more valuable, a bit more special to me, I will go with WATA games. So all 3 of these companies do serve a specific niche right now, but I mean, just given how high VGA's prices are, I don't use them unless I have to. Put it that way. But let me know what company you prefer grading with in 2024. Do these new prices matter to you? Will you be using CGC with these new prices? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.